Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Closed Traffic Podcast, an aviation and flight simulation show. I am Johnny, and along with my special guest here, no, we can't really bring in a special guest. See, it always derails, man. Every time we bring in, we try to organize things. You know, of course, trying to get all three of us together is like freaking herding cats, and now we're all together. And okay,
trains done come off the tracks.
At the gate, bro. At the gate. There's my man. Hey, Steve, what's going on, my friend?
How you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good.
Too, man.
Too cool. So glad you missed the train wreck, Steve. But yeah, so bringing us in there again, everyone. Welcome to the Closed Traffic Podcast. Looks like we got the whole gang here. Got my main man here. Looks like you got a little bit of vertigo with his camera there. Old cameraman Mike there is what they call him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike say hello to people.
What's going on, man? Mic check, first of all.
1 2 1 2.
All right, awesome. Good to be here, man. Good to be here.
Too cool. And last but certainly not least, go Bulldogs, ladies and gentlemen. My main man Charlie. Charlie, say hello to people.
Hey, we're like what, 83 days from college football, something like that.
Hey, man, it's getting there.
Oh,
it's getting there, man.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, right around the corner. And of course, he's as always, happy to have him there. Got our very special guest here, my man Steve. Steve, say hello to people from High Performance.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Too cool. Well, guys, again, glad everyone was able to make it. It's been a crazy Saturday. I know me personally, we've been trying to get everything together for Expo coming next week. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be awesome. So it's been a lot going on, but again, I'm glad everyone glad we're all able to get together. But yeah, definitely got a heck of a show lined up. There's been a lot going on. The comments are on fire. Hello, everyone who's able to join on the live recording there. Again, definitely got a heck of a show. A lot going on in the flight sim industry. You got Expo, and then I don't know if it's planned. I don't know if it was planned or unplanned. You know, we'll get into that here shortly. But the 2024 announcement, that's definitely going to be interesting. But before we dive into that, Steve, man, what's been going on with High Performance? You guys have definitely not been asleep over there. So what's been going on?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Not much. I mean, we've just been kind of sticking to our guns. We've been supporting the H145 and the hot air balloon since their release over the past couple of years. And, recently on Friday, we released the super tanker.
Wow. Yeah.
It's
I fired that guy up yesterday, and holy smokes, man. It's just
thing is awesome.
and again, the same thing with hot air balloon. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna let you continue, my friend. You guys just have a knack of finding niches in the aviation industry that no one would really expect to enjoy, but you enjoy it. I was just really blown away by it. I mean, just it's extremely intuitive. I was able to get it up and going in like 10 minutes. So if you guys haven't had the opportunity, definitely go to the High Performance Group website and check it out. And also check out the high air balloon too. It's really cool. I mean, I didn't like high air balloon for real, but no, it's awesome for sure. Definitely for sure. But aside from that, Steve, I know there's been some recent updates with the 145. I fired that up as well a week or so ago, and that thing is just every time I fire it up, man. And I notice also, I think one of the things that really kind of stuck out to me with just your guys' product line is the community. It seems as if you guys have created y'all's own ecosystem within the add-ons, man. I thought that was freaking amazing. Like you can go on the map and actually see other simmers with flying around all over the world. So I mean, how did that come about, Steve? I mean, it's like no one does it the way you guys do. So how did that all come about?
Yeah, and to give credit, the fly-by-wire guys, they do something similar as well. So give credit to those guys. But I mean, the idea is the same though. If everything we do, we want people to. It's about re-engaging with the sim. all of us on this panel, who are here today, we've all bought some type of aircraft that, through the pictures and everything, it looked amazing. We flew it 2 times and it's sat in the hangar ever since then because you just don't have anything specific to that aircraft to do. There's tons of GA aircraft, and you pick your favorite from like each class of aircraft, and you probably just fly that one for the most part. You'll get a new release, fly for a couple weeks, and then you'll be done with it. So for us, it was tie activities to the aircraft as well. Like, how is that aircraft used in real life? And that'd give people the opportunity or, kind of the motivation when they're playing, or I shouldn't say playing because I'll upset people, but when they're simming, when they're simming, it gives them a reason. Okay, I'm gonna hop in XYZ aircraft today because I want to do cargo missions or I want to do firefighting or something, So that's kind of when you talk about the ecosystem. It happened naturally, but it also makes sense for us. Like, let's just keep adding stuff that, like you said earlier, is kind of a niche or it's just not in the sim at all right now. Let's keep adding stuff because that's what brings people back to the sim. And to your point, the community part too with the life map is okay. If I want to go out and do some him stuff, I can see that there's a lot of activity over in this area today. So at least I get that extra immersion of seeing other aircraft, kind of fly by, while I'm doing whatever I'm doing. Which is like the coolest thing about the super tanker, I think, is like the lead plane and just looking out the window as the super tanker comes by and drops whatever they're dropping. Right. Run, like it's that immersion,
It's just unreal. Yeah, it's just unreal. Holy smokes! And I think that was, and to bring it back to as far as the community and the engagement from. In terms of the missions and setting up the missions, are the missions community based as well, or is that more of a single simmer type environment?
Yeah, so you can do multiplayer with the missions. We have the ability. There's already some stuff that we build into it, for all of our stuff. Like, there's the earthquake missions we built. That's multiplayer. It's about connecting to that server. We are limited in that aspect, but
for sure.
But users can create their own stuff as well. Like there's some awesome stuff done for the H145, and you can fork off and make most of the stuff multiplayer. It's about hosting that persistence. Because have you used the editor before? Kind of play around with the mission editor at all?
See, I have no imagination. So yeah, I'm horrible.
Yeah. So if you even similar to DCS where people create a scenario and then basically you're just hosting that scenario. So it's really not that difficult. Probably take an afternoon. You could get something up and running.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, man! That's insane. And it's I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Ben.
No, because I'm a segue into something else. But then before I segue,
and that's why I don't want to segue into something else. I was going to take away from your segue into something else. So you go ahead and segue first.
Well, how about our segues meet in the middle? I'm gonna go ahead and let you segue first.
All right. So how about this? I'm busting at the seams, Steve. What are your thoughts about Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, man? Yeah, I had to go there.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. So, I mean, you didn't catch me off guard. I was expecting it. But,
I figured.
Surely not. No.
Yeah, everybody wants to know. I'm cool with it. I mean, I'm going to talk common sense. I don't fluff. I'm just like everybody else. We all were watching, the Xbox showcase. Maybe maybe they'll show something from Microsoft Flight Simulator, but we were watching probably more as casual gamers just to see what Xbox was up to. Right. So when that came on, we were blown away because we had no idea that was coming at all, and the quality of it is phenomenal. So you're like, wow, even part of me developer oh, that's cool. Look at this thing that came out the blue, but then Simmer it looks awesome. There's nothing to complain about. But the asterisk was that there was so much confusion because there wasn't enough detail given. Love those guys over there, but this was a marketing opportunity where they could have put out a little more detail proactively. Because people immediately were, is it a sequel? Is it DLC? What's going to happen to my stuff I've already bought in the marketplace? XYZ, 100 other questions. And they did eventually put out, the FAQ with, I think it was 3 or 4 answers, but it was hours later though. So in between that time, you kind of start this fire where now, instead of the community just being excited about what's coming, everybody's in panic mode. And it's kind of simmered down now. Yeah, it's simmered down now, but there's still a little bit of that. You still see people who are just being negative. And me as a developer, I'm I don't see any reason to be negative. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
they announced that the add-ons are going to continue to work across both, I'll say platforms, but across both titles.
Mm-hmm.
They announced that you're not going to have to repurchase stuff. So like the two biggest things that you can complain about as a consumer, I'm like, those issues are eliminated. Then you get on to like the nitpicky, well, they're showing activities, but I want them to focus on airliners or something like that. And
Right.
these guys, they've done an awesome job building the sim up over the past 3 years. So I'm giving them good faith that they just showed this because it's Xbox Showcase, it's gaming focus. Let's put something out that's like high octane. And we'll get into the nitty gritty stuff that casual gamers aren't going to care about, better ATC, better terrain, better, AI liveries, all that kind of stuff. They'll probably do that in some type of follow up, between now and release. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Like talking to these guys, you guys have, talked to people over there, like you've seen the work they've put out. I don't think they're just going to turn their back on the simmer community. They're just trying to expand it. And that was a good opportunity for them to do it at the showcase. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that was
long-winded answer.
No, that was a perfect answer actually, and it's it kind of surmised my thoughts around what many other folks, especially within our very niche hobby, were feeling on the onset. Right? It's like at the end of the day, and we've been talking about this since 2020 was released. Microsoft's core focus is always going to be the bottom line, right? Revenue, right? Trying to ensure that they are ahead of the game as it relates to, contributing to that bottom line. So if that means that they're going to sort of put things into the sim, evolve the platform beyond any of the typical sort of areas and functionality and integrations and add-ons that, us quote unquote hardcore simmers actually care about. That's why, right? So there's always been this sort of flux and push and pull between, hey, are they really here to actually build up the platform to the level of simulation that we've been accustomed to across the X-Plane and even P3D platforms, or are they just going to turn this into a very gamey sort of environment similar to your other games out there and forget about us core simmers? And then for them to turn around and release 2024, so soon after 2020, so soon in relatives, to flights and platforms, sort of set everyone off. So, and I totally understand why, but we'll see. There's a lot remains to be seen.
Yeah,
I got faith, man.
Do you, Steve? Yeah, that's I don't know, guys. Mike, and I think a lot of us as simmers kind of fail to realize that certain aspect that at the end of the day, this is a revenue driven platform, right?
Yeah.
And it's our feelings as simmers, our feelings as aviation enthusiasts aside, at the end of the day, Microsoft is in it to make money. So if that means reaching out to a broader market, console owners, those individuals who are just kind of dipping their toes, I guess, into the hobby per se, then I think it's great for all of us. Do I have some concerns regarding some things on the roadmap that have yet to be fulfilled? A little, but I think at some point, between the transition from this our current title that we're in now in 2020 and 2024, one would hope the roadmap, the unfinished items, action items that are in this current roadmap be rolled over into the other one. I did notice a couple of features that I saw on there, Steve, that just totally had y'all's flavor on it.
Yep.
And I couldn't help but wonder. I'm just like, man, let me
somebody been looking with a good eye.
So what was y'all's reaction to that? I mean, what I'm talking about, Steve, when we see the video.
I do. And I got to make sure I'm respectful. Like it's hard to say, like, some people, I'll say this, some people in the community are like, oh, they copied you guys XYZ, but truthfully, like, is flattering a little bit. Like, I don't think that they haven't looked at what we've done.
Right.
But I also think that naturally we're going to land at the same place because we're going to do the same thing, which is be
Right.
realistic to how the aircraft are used in real life. So we're probably looking at the same references. We're probably, consuming the same stuff that we all love when it comes to like helicopter videos and things like that. So getting to an end result that looks similar, I think that's by nature that we both chase realism in terms of how these, how these helicopter activities kind of take place. So that's that first part. And then the second part, I think it looks great. They also have more resources than us. I'm sure they went out to some place where there's, these physical helicopters. They may have spent the day with someone doing this work. They might have done mocap. So, I mean, because it looks great. Like I'm proud of what we've done, but they've polished it and taken it to like the next tier in terms of like the smoothness of the animations. We still have to get our hands on it to see how it works, but from the trailer, it looks great, right? So
For sure.
That's how I feel about it. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And kudos to you guys. Because I'm gonna be honest, man. I think, it was through your guys' work that, a light was shined and on a particular facet of aviation that's not often looked at. I think a lot of us as Simmers, when we think aviation, we think of like, American Airlines and sending it from like LAX to Los Angeles, LAX to Vegas or whatever, that kind of crap. But I mean, there's just there's much broader, so the world is so much bigger than just than that, right? So shout out to you guys. I think Microsoft, I think in the background they're like, that's looks
Man,
really
that
good.
daggum Steve's got it going on.
Right. That's
definitely
exactly
keep
what
them-
they said, Charlie.
That's exactly
this
what
fella
they said.
Steve has it going on. These guys HPG, they're doing their thing. Let's see if we can expound on that. And if they did, we're not saying if they did, but again, to your point, naturally they were probably going to arrive at because what else can you do with airplanes, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What else can you do with helicopter, right? So, I do agree with you. Eventually, I think they would have, drawn to the same conclusion. But I definitely think you guys had a hand in steering them in the right direction.
Yeah. Hey, and if that's the case, I'm proud of that. I hope so because I think some of the stuff we've done was cool. Like I'm really hoping it's wide open activities versus being like curated to this one specific place.
Right.
Like menu mission one. Like I really don't want that. I want it to be
Right.
dynamic. Like I was saying earlier when we were talking about like the kind of like the multiplayer stuff. Like I really want it to feel like a living world, like kind of like an MMO in a way. Like you log in, you're flying and you're hearing even like the radio chatter of what people are doing. Like all that stuff just makes it more immersive.
So
like,
immersive.
Yeah, I mean that's what we love about that set, right? Is part of it is training, or I shouldn't say training, but keep yourself proficient at like the rules of the air and all that kind of stuff. But the other part is just hearing that other traffic. It really makes you feel like you're a part of a real world versus you're just kind of logging in and doing yourself isolated. So I have high hopes. I think that was the reason why they have to push to a new client was because there's probably so much more they want to do with the engine compared to what they had in 2020. Like, because other than that, to me, I thought it was just going to be, Microsoft Flight Simulator. It would continue to get like expansions, that's the way I thought it was going to be. But for them to do this, and they have to proactively know, like, yeah, there's probably going to be a little backlash from the community. For them to still make that decision, to me, it makes it seem like they're doing it for, I don't want to say gameplay, but they're doing it for simulation purposes. They're doing it for engine purposes, something that's going to push it forward. So, I mean, Reno was what, $70 maybe for the full pack of everything. So it's not like they're versed to having high packaged, content. So, because if it was a money thing, it would just be that for them to do this. Right. I think it's to find something bigger.
Absolutely. Definitely have a little sense of passion there because like you said, they could DLC the thing to death and it's called it a day, but they done the fact that they're looking to invest resources in an entire new platform, which is just absolutely absolutely phenomenal. But then like I said, as Simmers, some of us tend to be a little resistant to change, myself included. Heck, going from
I would have been.
Yeah,
that FAQ out. I would have been on the picket lines too. Like, okay,
right? Hey, we're protesting, right? But it's I remember like an average lifespan of a platform, was like years. It was years, until you saw any sort of meaningful update. But now what? 2020 dropped, not too long ago, and boom, here we are, another iteration of it. Man, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, the sim has come leaps and bounds, and I think like that's one of the biggest takeaways in their sort of their announcements, their FAQ, and some of the conversations and dialogue that everyone's been having. They remain committed to improving 2020. Right, there's still
Yeah.
A few number of bugs and some feature requests and enhancements yet to come, and the fact that they're not saying, 2020 is a platform that we sort of rolled out there to test the waters. And I know we've got a lot of enhancements coming, but this is our focus. Like, no, right? They're still dedicating resources to improving that platform in addition to rolling out 2024. And I remember when this sim first came out, in addition to some of the other concerns that the community had, right? They one of the biggest things was, are they going to, again, right, hang us out to dry? Is this just some 2-year money grab, and then they're going to pull out again like they did last time with what was it again? Exactly, Microsoft Flight. But the fact that in 3 years, they've already revamped the platform, addressed a lot of the major gaps that were there initially, and are preparing to roll out another huge platform. Just sort of cements the fact that they remain committed to flight sim overall. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thing I'll say is it's interesting they announced it at the Xbox event.
How come? Isn't that where they announced 2020?
That I don't remember.
Oh no, that was at E3.
Because I just looked back at like the Navigraph survey. You remember when we went over that and like the numbers of people that actually used it on Xbox, but yet they chose. You know what I mean?
Maybe they're trying to grow the Xbox user base as well, right?
That could be.
Yeah, and Xbox is more than just a platform. I mean, more than just the console,
Absolutely.
right? So it's the platform. So
yeah.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah,
it's like you got Expo in 2 weeks. Like,
yeah, I think you got to remember too. So if they were planning this last year, that was still when E3 was in the conversation of it. This would have been probably an E3 thing.
Bingo.
Versus
that I did not think about. You're exactly right.
So you got that. That would have gave them a massive audience. Which even the Xbox showcase is still kind of a good place, but your PC people only probably aren't watching the Xbox showcase. Or at least not
right.
No, that makes perfect sense.
But after that, I mean, you think Expo sounds like a good idea, but the end attendance people would be like 2,000, and then maybe thousands for viewers at home. Where again, Xbox probably at millions. You wait to the end of the year, you got Gamescom, so you're kind of still running that same. There's no other perfect really event unless they did their own Microsoft Flight Simulator event.
Right, that makes sense. So yeah.
They've got those weekly dev streams though. I hope we get one of those where they kind of talk about it more. I mean,
that would be awesome. Cool. It'd be awesome of them to do that.
Didn't they used to do that at one point?
They were doing that.
They still
do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Weekly dev stream.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. Yeah, it's just I don't know, guys. It's it looks amazing to me. I guess I can kind of dive a little bit into my concerns. As good as this sim looks, I really hope that they continue, to place some just a little focus on the fidelity of the flight modeling, the fidelity of the engine modeling,
turboprops.
Yeah, just a little, right? For example, I remember there were some conversations being had regarding the scenery gateway. What's up with that?
That'd
just
be huge,
right? I mean, yeah, just some, I don't know, just some things to make it a little more polished or whatnot. But I mean, aside from that, I don't think we really have anything to worry about in the short term, right? We still got 2020. It's despite its issues, to be honest with you, I really haven't had any issues with 2020 lately.
Knock on wood. On wood.
Yeah, where that is nowadays. But so that's I take a little solace in that, and I think for right now, we can put down the pitchforks. Right now, and for a little bit, right? And just kind of just kind of enjoy what we got, between like I said, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and X-Plane 12. I have been thoroughly busy with the little time I have had, so I think that's been pretty, pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm super impressed in the improvements towards avionics in that
By
sim.
leaps and bounds.
Oh my gosh, do you remember where we started?
Oh my lord. Whew.
And now, man, like I did a flight in the Vision Jet the other day with the new updates, and it's almost a spitting image of the Perspective Plus unit in the Cirrus line. It's really incredible, really incredible.
Yeah.
Shout out to Flight FX.
Yeah, I mean, they have been.
Absolutely.
Nick and his team, man, they have been busy for sure. I mean, just the overall ambiance of the sim. Oh my lord, But like I said, there's definitely a lot to look forward into 2020. I think there's still a lot of life left in her. I've been kind of, browsing the forums, and I mean, there's just like forum threads pages long of just like speculations, and I heard aliens have something to do with that.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just on that level, right? And it's just like, come on, people, just they made like, can we not be happy? At least they're not going to drop it like Microsoft Flight. I'm just saying, right?
Yep, that's true.
I mean, I don't know. Because at first, like I said, I was kind of floored as well. I'm like, whoa, so you're just dropping a bit at the same time. I'm like, it just would not make sense for them. Like there's no logic in just completely departing a flat platform to create another and leaving individuals who've purchased third-party products kind of hanging out the dry, hundreds of dollars. We're not talking about like $2 or $3 like Robux or something like that. No, there's like hundreds of dollars worth of add-ons, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's I think we'll be all right, fellas. I really do.
Yeah. I want to acknowledge the audience again. Thank you all for taking time out of your day to join us here. We're about, how in the world is it 38 minutes in already? Almost 30 minutes in. We've got Steve here from High Performance. I don't know why our name tags keep disappearing, but Steve's here from High Performance.
Sorry, that was totally clicking them, bro.
I knew it was you.
What kind of operation is this?
Oh
Touch
man,
the production stuff, man.
I'm telling you, man, my diabolical plot to thwart the podcast.
Anyway,
no.
On my, I guess my bottle. There we go. Thank you, sir. We've got Steve from High Performance Group. We're here talking about the latest releases, from the High Performance Group, as well as everyone's thoughts on Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 and just the future of the platform in general and Microsoft's commitment to it. So it's been great. We'll get into FSExpo in a little bit here as well. We're also excited. I think the four of us will be there, right? Steve, you're going to be there as well?
Yes, sir.
So that'll be really cool. Get to see everyone in person, chat with you all in person. Lots of really cool events. But again, we'll get into the details later there. So welcome. Joining on the chat. Drew says he has to go back and rewatch. Join in on the chats. Feel free to share your opinions about 2024. I can't even say 2020 anymore, right? It's 2024.
No,
it's a tongue twister. I thought I was the only one.
No, it used to roll right off the tongue. Now it's like I gotta say Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Like what? Anyways,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's 24. Hey, you guys play 24? What?
Yeah.
You play 24?
I play 24.
Just like how like the like the kids are doing. You play 24.
So you got that 20. You got that new 24.
Yeah. Got the new 24. Got that mad? No, you got the 24.
I got that mad. Heck, it won't be long. That'll be out.
Oh Lord, yeah, that's right around the corner too.
Every year.
Every year, man. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know, guys. Like I said, are y'all gonna be like day one recipients when it drops? What are we talking about, Mike?
I don't know. What was like?
Mike's, you're being delusional. You're saying that right now, brother.
Exactly.
You're gonna.
Mike's what are you talking about? Mike's already pre-ordered it.
Exactly.
He's already pre-ordered it.
Flash of me spamming. Hey man, you guys got it downloaded yet?
Nah. But Mike, so you are an X-Plane guy that you kind of lean more to X-Plane in your favoritism lately, right?
That's an interesting one. I kind of go back and forth between 2020 and X-Plane as it relates to favoritism, and it's really because of, and what it always has been, even when you factor in P3D, what's available on the platform. So, I've always said, hey, you want to experience general aviation like no other. 2020 is where it is. We've still got some gaps. I think, like I said, like we've been talking about, we've come a long way from an airliner standpoint and a simulation standpoint, but X-Plane is still edging out a little bit there. So I think, when I want to fly a 321, I'm an X-Plane. On the Microsoft Flight Sim side, when I want to, really experience general aviation flying and, getting into some of the more pilotage and dead reckoning, 2020 is where it is. So I go back and forth, truthfully.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rookie, what's going on, man? Welcome.
What's up, Rook?
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what's funny, guys? It's like, I wouldn't just sleep on X-Plane either. I've been looking at some
I think
yeah,
we're
man.
gonna hear something
They got an update
next week.
12.06 where they kind of they touched up on the clouds, and that screenshot I sent you, Charlie.
That's
Man,
right.
that was
Oh,
ridiculous. I wish we could show that, man. That was.
We
yeah.
can.
I thought you was like in an airport. I was like, "Where's
No,
Johnny going?"
bro, it was weird. So Steve, it was a low vis night, and you know how you're at the gate, and the mist and the lights kind of working with the mist. It was that kind of situation there.
Oh wow.
And if you
that was
were,
an X-Plane?
Yeah, it was an X-Plane, bro. If you were the uninitiated,
Wow.
you would have sworn you were sitting in a gate at night in low vis conditions. I'm telling you, like, I would not sleep on X-Plane. And to top all that off, we were all kind of complaining, well, heck, we got live streaming scenery from 2020. Why can't we have an X-Plane? Well, someone figured out, the same guys who did.
You can.
Yeah, they're streaming ortho now in the X-Plane.
That's awesome.
I did see that. Yeah.
So, and
I've been contemplating trying it, but I hadn't pulled the trigger.
Yeah, I hadn't either, man. It's like, I don't have the time that I used to kind of like.
Either.
I need things to work.
I don't.
You don't want to be working
man.
on your sim. You want to be flying.
You want to be
with
flying.
you.
Oh
Yeah.
man, there's nothing more frustrating because I downloaded a couple of aircraft that are like early access. I'm not going to get into it. Well, I'll get into them. They're the E-Jets. I purchased the E-Jets from Flight Sim Studios, FSS.
I don't know how well that'll come through. But
man, you can get that in it. Man, get nobody see that, bro. Get that in get that on the chat, bro. You can share it.
No, I can't because I don't have a link to it.
Bro.
Charlie, send it to me. I'll pull it up.
Yeah. My man Mike pull it up. But no, I love you, Charlie. But
Charlie will get you after the show. Don't worry.
I know, man. And then Expo, like,
I'm still waiting on that burger from Mike. I still ain't got it.
It's coming, bro.
In the mail.
But no, guys, like, it's insane now what they're doing, and to compound all that with the into turboprop modeling, the just overall flight. Oh my lord, So it's just been a really good time, and like I said, I don't want to get into which one's better. We've all beaten that horse, just like decomposing now, so we don't want to get into that. But it's just a really good time for simming all together. So. And then DCS. I don't even get into that. The Raspberry F-15 is about to drop.
Man,
yes, sir.
Man, we back in DCS. I don't have any more room.
You still roll with DCS?
You say you don't have any more room.
I'm completely full of peripherals.
In your schedule.
Yes. Well, that too, and just my peripherals. I have no more room. I'm out. I don't know. I have no idea.
You recently went through a whole memory overhaul, right? You got some SSDs now.
Oh yeah, man.
Was moving things around.
Mechanical, bro. Yeah, no more mechanical. So
I didn't realize you were still running mechanicals for.
Yeah, man. We had like 4 of them. So
Jeez, a big difference.
Yeah. Oh, it's night and day, Steve. It's been amazing, man. Like 2020 used to take like decades, bro. Like, go make a sandwich. There you go.
Oh, I can't believe you were playing 2020 on a mechanical hard drive.
Yeah, it was awful, bro. It was awful, especially for Especially if we were like playing like multiplayer, and like Mike and Charlie were already being the same. I'm like, hold on, guys, be in a minute.
You get it loaded. It's still loading.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the that is incredible, and even here it's a little bit grainy, but man, that's generally something you see in 2020.
Absolutely,
so that's an X-plane shot. That's pretty cool.
I think that's what I said. It's like, dang, you in 2020? It's like, nah, that's X-plane 12, fam.
Yeah, X-plane 12.
I gotta say, I think X-plane does airports better, honestly.
100%.
Charlie and Johnny think the same thing,
man. But
I don't have the first.
It's the gateway. It's really their gateway system. So what they did, Steve, way back when, they realized it's almost impossible to do every airport in the world, to a reasonable level of fidelity.
Mm-hmm.
So they opened up this scenery gateway, and they introduced this tool called WED and made it super easy to deal with. So anyone, hey, my local airport's in there, not in there, let me go fill with it. So they'll go in there, throw something together, upload it, and boom. So fast forward several, however many years. Now, no matter where, I don't think I have found an airport yet. I don't know if you have, Charlie. Yeah, that has not been, at least the taxiways.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, not
very
been pretty
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't spend enough time in there, but it's impressive though.
It's solid, man. It's like it's a very solid platform. For the most part, you get an X-plane, everything that you expect it to do, and what you anticipate based on whatever scenario you're running, it just works. And that's sort of why I migrated not from P3D, but over I want to say over the last 4 or 5 years, I kind of threw up my hands with P3D at times and just was like, man, P3D requires so many different integrations and plugins and add-ons, and they all have to run so cohesively well in order not to have a single hiccup that it was just ridiculous. And X-plane just worked. So that's kind of why I always prefer, from a stability standpoint, X-plane is certainly the platform. But they've also now edged out, or they're starting to edge into, just overall graphics and look and feel and immersion as well. So it's pretty cool.
I think that's all due to 2020, man, because 2020, I'm telling you, bro, 2020 slaps. I don't care what. Like 2020 hits on all cylinders. And you guys see the chat. Like I'll be having like a horrible day at work. I'm like, man, I'm gonna just go send something or whatever. And it's like it's something just catches just right to where it's like, my Lord, it looks beautiful,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get some good screenshots, folks that aren't really simmers, and you throw it to someone, and they just be like, oh, where are you off to now? They're like, no, this is a sim, bro.
I'm off to the fridge. Be right back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's just been crazy, man. And and then compound all that with what you guys are doing, as far as with rotary aircraft now. And I think did Microsoft recently update some of the flight modeling for rotary craft, Steve?
They did. They increased. I'll say the physics increased, or not increased,
Gotcha.
Improved. Still some stuff we're waiting on, like flight model specific. Like we still don't have autopilot functions native to the helicopter SDK, so we need that. A lot of developers are waiting on that. We developed around it. We already had autopilot, working prior to the helicopter update, so we were kind of immune from all that. But there's a lot of stuff that is limited by not having the autopilot available. You also can't take advantage of the working title avionics stuff that they improved with helicopters. So yeah, so I'm wondering if it's going to be buttoned up before 2024, or if that's something we're just saving for 2024. But I think that's like the last piece of what we're waiting for. Of course, keep refining the helicopter flight model, but if we get that stuff, I think we're pretty good to go at that point.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So have you guys heard any communications from Asobo or Microsoft regarding any developments with 2020, or any
I'm looking at
any
the
kind of
development roadmap right
background communication from them at all?
They're at work, man. They're at work. I'll drop it in here. It kind of gives you. I think this was June 15th. So what? 2 days ago. They provided the latest development roadmap. Like we said at the beginning, they are committed to continuing development across this platform, which is
Mhm.
pretty cool. A lot of cool stuff in here as well that we've been asking for a while. So they're getting there. They're getting
Yeah,
there.
I mean, as far as like communications to the developers, like email
Oh,
correspondence.
to the
or-
devs.
Yeah, to the
Oh,
devs. Yeah.
you know, Steve would have to
Can't
tell you that
say
one.
that we
Yeah.
have, no.
Yeah, I kind of
Um,
figured that, you know.
but
I think we're all
I'll-
surprised.
I'll caveat that with I know people who are working with them currently and
Mm-hmm.
other things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you kind of think about it, you read between the lines. If they didn't communicate to developers, that probably means that developers aren't going to be hugely impacted by whatever's happening.
By whatever's happening.
Because
Oh, that's
otherwise,
good.
that
would
would.
hope.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed, man. Because
It's like they put out an FAQ. Oh, all your add-ons and stuff is gonna work, no problem. It's
Yeah.
like, but
Seamlessly.
we didn't communicate to the developers.
And before you know,
Developers
you're
had
cartwheeling hot air balloons as soon as it
no
goes up.
idea the platform
Yeah.
was coming out. So how did you
Yeah.
validate that? But I guess we'll
because
see.
We'll
because
see.
it's a symbiotic relationship between developers and
Yeah.
the sim. Like, let's be real, you can burn out on sim. You can.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you need developers to kind of keep replenishing that with aircraft. Think of every aircraft as like DLC. You're giving people a reason to come back to the sims. Though plus, if you're in the marketplace, they're making money off each sale. So of course they
Yeah.
want developers
Oh,
to
for sure.
be entangled with this, stay on the platform. So that's why I really don't think they're going to make a decision that really hurts us
Right.
without telling us,
Per se.
proactively. Because they just haven't done that. I think they've been great to the community and the developers since day one. I mean, of course they've fumbled a little bit. We can always
Oh
nitpick
yeah,
about
we
stuff,
all.
but
Yeah, for sure.
I think overall they've been great. Like, we got how many free updates every other month? The content
Oh
updates
man,
or the
yeah.
world updates.
We haven't paid a
Avionics,
dime for
sure,
anything
a
updated.
dime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 40th anniversary thing was a free
Package.
update.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
That's a
think
really
they've been
good call
to
out,
us.
Steve. That's a really good
Yeah.
call out. Like we sort of get like Johnny said earlier, the pitchforks out when certain things haven't been addressed yet.
Yeah.
But it's like it's been 3 years of free upgrades and development. Like you got to take that into consideration as well.
Yeah, no, maybe I'm being naive, but I'm just trying to stay positive. I
No,
don't
I
Got
think
you, man.
be
Got you.
negative all the way up until release date.
No. Oh, it sucks. Everything sucks.
it's like, oh, it works. Oh, cool. Okay, move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Where you been flying lately, Steve?
Oh man, so I'm always in the same places. Like I fly around Tampa. Like I'll do Tampa,
Mhm.
Miami a lot.
Mhm.
I like to jet down to the Bahamas if I'm doing one of the turboprops or something like that.
Yeah.
California, I'm always around LAX. Especially with like our activity stuff.
Whatever, Mike.
The hymns, fire, like that area is just perfect, especially when
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
getting off work 5 o'clock, so over there it's still like 3.
Still like
Yep.
Yeah, get there early enough for the sunset, man. Like
Just
you were talking
lunchtime
about-
over
it just
there.
hits.
Yeah, man. Like,
The multiverse is what we call it.
Charlie, I can't. Man. Hey, I'm gonna tell the whole world. Steve, sorry, I'll let you get back to what you were saying. But it is time that everyone knows how badly Charlie and Johnny bully me. All right. So all they do is make fun of the fact that I'm on the West Coast and they get up super early on the East Coast. And by the time I'm eating breakfast, they're eating dinner, quote unquote. Right? I can't win with these guys, man. So it's the running joke. It's the running joke. I know you got we've got some West Coast folks in the chat. You guys got to help defend me, man, because these two act like only the East Coast exists in the entire planet.
bro. It's like, hey, like, good
Everything
morning,
west-
guys. Like, man, we eating dinner, bro. Like, I'm putting kids
morning.
in. What are you talking about?
Everything west of Texas to these two doesn't exist, man.
Exactly.
I mean,
multiverse.
being West Coast has its advantages, though, man.
Super advantages. I keep telling
Yeah.
these guys.
By the time he gets up, all the news is already out for the day.
Exactly.
You catch up.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's
everybody's
true.
going to bed, so you can't talk to anybody. And eat.
Yeah, that's it. Poor Mike be talking to himself.
A little bit talking about
Yeah,
something.
like 1 in the morning, bro. It's like, like dropping Instagram links.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's 9 p.m. my time. Like, hey guys, check this out. Crickets. But meanwhile, 4 a.m. my phone won't stop going.
We're trying to get you right, man. We're trying.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
man.
I'm sorry, Steve. I know you.
No,
were,
you're good, man.
I had to let the world know the how traumatized I am by these two.
Trauma.
So you were
Secret
saying
now.
you jump in the West Coast, still
Yeah.
sun out, and
Yeah, West Coast,
sunset hits
continue.
just right, especially in
Yeah, West Coast.
2020.
Continue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Australia is real nice too, man. I
Oh
love
yeah,
Australia.
Yep.
Like,
Australia.
yeah,
No.
yeah, that's where I'm going for the most part
Cool.
lately.
Too cool. Too cool. You know, guys, one place I have yet to go.
It's
New
Australia.
Zealand. Well, that
Oh,
too. New
Oh, New
Zealand.
Zealand's
Oh, New Zealand's
great, too.
gorgeous, bro.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have yet to go
I
down
think
there.
I've been there a
and
couple times.
Yeah. And
Really?
they got a world update too, so it's real nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I've been missing out.
That's because you don't leave the Midwest, bro.
Man,
he can't get out
whatever,
at six.
dude.
Nah, he can't get out at 650.
Whatever, man. I
He
can't
can't
get
get
out
out of
down there.
Johnny
Man,
says
y'all
that.
say what
Johnny
y'all
says
want,
that
man.
hot star 650 like he's
Hey.
a salon, bro.
They
They're gonna
send you
him.
a check.
They're gonna send him a 1099
I'm waiting
at the
for it,
end of the
man.
year.
I'm waiting for my 1099, man.
Yeah.
I keep checking ADP and it's not there. So I don't know what's going on.
1099, Johnny.
Oh man,
Oh,
got him
my
a
goodness.
check.
Yeah, you guys are awful, man. But no, there's been a lot of movement and other platforms as well. I know, like I said, Razbam, which I know, yeah, Mike can care less, but
What is that?
Mike.
What
So
is that?
so
Oh,
hold
okay.
on, let me just paint some context. So years ago, Razbam actually used to do add-ons for P3D. They
Let me hit the
did.
Google.
Yeah, look up Razbam F15. I was trying to get you a link, but I don't want the our friends here to hear my mechanical keyboard action.
Oh,
But
Or the
but
live
no,
stream to stop.
yeah, but yeah, that too, right? But anyway, so yeah, they did a Metro liner, which I am desperately looking for another Metro liner. Please, if any developers out there would love to have a Metro. Anyway, so yeah, they did a Metro liner years ago for P3D, and then they transitioned over into DCS, and I think they did the Harrier for DCS, and then they did some other add-ons and
Tomcat.
the Tomcat as well. Or was it Heat Blur, Steve? You remember?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah.
But they did some other add-ons, but they're also working on a high fidelity F15, which anybody who's familiar with anything in aviation, someone says F15, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, F15. Yeah. So it's definitely something that's been on a lot of people's radar. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm like, man, I might need to like reinstall bring DCS over to back into the forefront there to get it going, because they just released a manual over 500 pages, guys.
Seriously?
Can't make this up, man.
Wow.
500 pages. Yeah.
That's how a lot of those DCA aircraft are, man. They're
They
go
they
deep.
don't play.
They're
deep.
fully yeah.
Deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see the allure. I definitely do. As someone that for our group, right, that we love the high fidelity add-ons that just really go in depth. I could see the allure to DCS where almost every add-on that's put out is similar to that. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they come. I think to me, it's almost as if each add-on is like has its own little community. I mean, you can go to like Facebook and find a
group or
F14 group or or a Harrier group or something. Then that's all they do. They might have another one, another add-on they may dabble with here and there, but F18 guys or whatnot. But let's see, Rob 24-inch. Better test still put a sour taste in my mouth. F15 manual got me missing radio calls. It is that deep, man. I'm just thinking, like, holy smokes, Johnny, when am I going to have time to like study that? And it's almost like you have to have some sort of background in it. Are you lost? You're getting an airplane and you're lost.
Exactly.
Because everything, like, unlike commercial aircraft where you have so much more real estate for different functions, like your HOTUS, for example, has like 30 different freaking functions, right? and it's just a lot. It's a lot to dive at. I think that's the issue I run into with DCS. It's like, one, having the time, and then two, completely having to reconfigure my desk for DCS. So I don't know. Steve, have you been messing with? I know for a while you're messing with DCS. Have you been in here lately?
Oh yeah. I bounce between DCS, MFS, and a little bit of X-Plane probably weekly, to be honest. And you're right, it does take a lot. Like I always tell everybody, for me, I kind of have a routine I do with new aircraft. It probably takes a couple hundred hours before you're really like, hey, I've mastered this. I'm comfortable.
Right.
Like I feel like in Microsoft Flight Simulator, X-Plane, like you can probably a couple hours, couple flights, you can pretty much out the hang of it.
Yeah.
DCS is so much different just because they're so, man, like you were saying, the depth of it is insane.
Same. Yeah, absolutely insane. It's just like I had the wild notion like, hey, let me just check out this Apache, and I have yet to I barely got the thing off the ground. It's absolutely unreal, what they're able to do. And they just, I know a while back, the platform hit 64-bit, I believe. They went 64-bit, and it just runs like butter. On reasonably spec machines. You don't need a supercomputer to to run DCS at all now. So it's just been amazing for sure. But again, I just don't have the time. So lately for me, it's just been bouncing between 2020 and X-Plane. I'm not just in the 650, Michael Charlie.
What do you fly? What do you fly in X-Plane?
Lately I've been in the D840. A D840 just released from Torque Sim?
Torque Sim?
Torque Sim. Or is it real Sim Gear?
No, Torque Sim.
Is it okay?
Real Sim Gear provides the actual hardware for like your Cirruses and some of the other stuff for your flight sim.
Really? Are you sure? Because the forum I go into is for real Sim Gear.
I'm pretty sure, but let me look.
Yeah. I just say that because I've been in the forums a lot, here recently. And to your point, real Sim Gear, they're putting out like FA certified hardware, so they're definitely
it's Torque Sim.
Is it Torque Sim?
Yes, sir.
Real Sim Gear. Yeah, their support group is in the Real Sim Gear thing. So I don't know.
That's
the X-Plane world. It's always like it's take command, but it's hot start.
So Torque Sim. I've been in that, and also the what's that guy called? Toga, which is under the X Aviation banner deal, but Toga Simulations, the MU2, Mitsubishi MU2, the MU2. Yeah, it's just, man, that thing is just phenomenal. And the King Air, the Air 4 Labs King Air when I have time. So it's been a lot going on. That's pretty cool. Yeah, still messing with it from time to time. I know they just had a big release here recently. The X-Crafts Eject series also released not too terribly long ago. Still got a ways to go on it, in my opinion.
Did we cover
we
that
talked
about
it.
Yeah,
we covered it.
I wasn't there. It was when
can
we talk about? I was Ghost. Now I was Ghost.
Can
we talk about how
Mike was here in spirit?
That good Mike ain't gonna show up there.
Johnny and Charlie.
You Johnny.
You're not gonna put me on. How Johnny and Charlie was doing a podcast and had a podcast for an hour straight before they realized they weren't even recording.
Yeah, man. It happened.
So what it was?
An hour straight.
And I was there looking at it and didn't say nothing.
It's your fault, Charlie, because you told me to say anything. No, we were rehearsing, right? There's an hour-long rehearsal. We wanted to make sure Mike wasn't there. Mike typically helps get this organized. He wasn't there. He left us alone. So we had to take it upon ourselves to go and rehearse to get everything together, right? You see what I'm saying, Steve? Yeah, trying to be,
Whatever
a little-
excuse you wanna sell,
Professionalism,
my friend.
Mike.
right,
Oh, boy.
Professionalism.
They were recording for an hour. Well, sorry,
man, whatever.
they
It
thought
was
they were
only,
recording
okay,
for
Mike.
an
It was
hour.
47 minutes. Okay,
Right.
It's an hour.
Wasn't
But
an hour.
But 47. Oh yeah, here goes Mike rounding up. Mike's rounding like a round up. Whatever, man.
Man, that's
No,
like 3
so-
hours. Y'all wasn't even recording.
Oh,
Oh man, it's almost as bad as Mike's vacations.
Yeah, man.
remember that time Johnny and
Mike goes
Charlie
on
were recording
3-month-long
for 6
vacations.
hours, 3 months.
It'd be like 2 days.
Oh,
Dang, you
man.
still on vacation?
Thank you guys, man.
Got it made.
But no, but yeah, so but yeah, we did cover it, since
Twice.
twice.
Twice. The rehearsal and then when you actually record it.
Exactly. I had
Start
to
making me
dress
sweat.
rehearsal. Man, but no, it looks amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, those of you who didn't have the opportunity to listen to the previous episode, the person who did the model for the X-Crafts also did the model for the Flight Sim Studios E-Jet. So they both look beautiful.
yeah.
Gorgeous.
Flight Sim Studios, they're doing their own back end work with avionics. X-Crafts, they're doing their own thing. So that's where it's a little different. As far as avionics, to me, X-Crafts is a little more fleshed out.
Mhm.
But let's just be honest, the E-Jets is kind of quirky. I know our resident past E-Jet driver, Robert, he could probably attest to it there. It has its own little, nuances there. They're difficult to capture, I think there's probably like only one flight sim developer that I know of who, did a pretty good job of capturing all the, characteristics that, comes with the E-Jet. So yeah, there's going to take a little time. And I think IXXG also, they're working on they're working on bringing the 737-300 over to from X. I think it's like compatible with X-Plane 11, but they're bringing it to 12.
Yep.
I would love to see that. I would love to see them kind of work on, maybe like a Dash 700 or something. I would love to see like a really which we have Zebo. But IXG definitely kind of hit it just
They're a little
right.
bit more polished.
Yeah, a little more polished, man, to be honest with you, in my opinion.
Zebo's free, so I mean, you
can't argue with that. Yeah.
But yeah, IXG was definitely a little bit more
Yeah.
polished. Hey, you know who else?
Ooh.
Who did the? Oh man, I'm going back probably 2 years now. They released
up?
this 7.3 fleet on
Level
X-Plane
Up?
11. Yeah, whatever
Yeah,
happened
bro,
to
I
that?
don't know. Has anybody
It
heard
was
from Level
so
Up?
it
Anybody in the
was
chat?
amazing, and then I
Yes.
don't even think they released a single secondary update to that thing.
Because I think it was on the threshold, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. It was
The
on the
Level Up
threshold.
737, it was so polished. I love that, especially
Man.
like the interior, the cabin, the different configurations that you. But it came out, and then I didn't hear anything else about it.
No, it's been weird, man. And there's been a couple of projects that unfortunately hasn't really come to fruition. I know the TBM is coming. They're working on that.
to X-Plane?
Yeah,
12?
their hot starts working on that.
Nice.
Getting that over, so we should be seeing a TBM. What have you been flying in X-Plane? I remember you mentioned you were doing a little dabbling in X-Plane, Steve. Where you been flying X-Plane, my friend?
Yeah, I'm generic. I just fly the default Vision Jet.
Man, nothing wrong with the Viz Jet and X-Plane, bro. I've heard it's pretty.
Even the base SR-22 is solid. I mean, to the point where they've got the you turn the air conditioning on and off, and it hits Alt 1 and 2. I mean, Alt 1. It's like, and it's a default aircraft.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they have an edge there, man. I think a lot of the default stuff in X-Plane trumps MFS. Like again, I love both of them. I think there's room for both of them, but I think you guys would say you can get by with a lot of the default airports, a lot of the default aircraft in X-Plane without having to download a bunch of different add-ons and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's yeah. I think so too. If again, if Microsoft and the Sobo they're able to get the Scenery Gateway thing going, I think sometime down the road, I think, it'd be pretty sweet because you can tell when you're on VATSIM, you can totally tell when someone has a default vanilla airplane in 2020 because they're just so. I feel bad for them. They're like, Cessna 2 Sierra Tango. I told you taxiway Bravo. They're like, they're freaking out because what they're seeing doesn't match what they're telling them. And it's just awful. So give them some time. They can get that gateway going. I think 2020 will be okay in that regard.
Yeah, they're great. And the competition, the competition to make them both better too, man. So we're
absolutely
for sure.
We're in a good spot.
Yeah, I think they were in a good place, and they got that Citation 10 in X-Plane too. I've been looking at that, man. It's been looking. I don't know. I think when I was younger, man. Yeah, the default Citation 10, and I heard it was pretty. Till Steve's point, like the defaults, they're pretty dang solid. Now I've been hearing a lot of Citation 10 traffic on VATSIM. So it might be something worth
VATSIM in so long.
Man. Yeah, but you ain't had to, my man. Yeah, we need to talk a little bit about your journey too, if you can, later on in the show as well. For sure. But a lot going on in Flight Sim world, and I guess just kind of expound on that, man. Guys, what about Expo next week, y'all? What about Expo next week? Let me one more time. Expo next week. I mean, guys, I remember first talking about it, and now it's like, dang, right around the corner. Because I missed the first one, man. I was salty.
Yeah,
I was salty.
Likewise.
Yeah. So definitely looking forward to. Where are you guys looking forward? Who are you guys looking forward to seeing there? Or
High Performance Group.
High Performance.
Oh, for sure. Man, you already know.
That's the only reason I'm coming.
Number one fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I think to your point, Johnny. There's a lot of folks are going to be there. It's going to be simply just out of this world. I think earlier on, I was kind of like, is this really going to be as big as it has been in the past? And within the last couple of months, it's been, it's going to be bigger. There's a lot of excitement around it. A lot of really cool developers and vendors and
just bring a fan with you. It's going to be hot.
And, we got to get to the weather in a minute.
No.
He done got the weather. Weatherman Mike, what they call.
Oh my God.
Mike.
No, I'm not. I won't touch the weather. It's fine. But no, I think like I said, anyone that has anything to do with aviation and flight sim in general, it's going to be there, and I think that's exciting. Those guys over at FSExpo worked their tails off to help coordinate shout out to them to such an amazing event for flight simmers. Again, it's very unique and niche hobby. It's not as big as some of the other things and other expos and other hobbies that you see out there, but yet we're able to get some really, really cool vendors and enthusiasts together, and it's going to be a good time. I look forward to it.
Absolutely. What about you, Steve? I know is Hype going to be doing anything down there?
So I'm on a panel, so I will be doing that. We're talking about the kind of developing for MFS 20, kind of the new age of developers, content creators, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing that. Other than that, we're going to be pretty low key. We do have a booth, but it's just going to be set with some free merchandise for people to pick up. Little
merch.
Yeah, just some little merch items, just nothing too extravagant. It's our first expo, so I wanted it to come as a fan of as the simmer community.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and kind of just experience it that way first, and then that helped me figure out what we want to do for future expos that we come to. But I'm excited, man. Like you guys said, there's gonna be so many things to do, even just walking around, going booth to booth. I mean, you can spend a whole day doing that, and then the excursions they have available are all awesome. To be honest,
they've got a ton of stuff. That's what's amazing is how much stuff they have to do.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I going to do all this in a couple days?
Exactly. I actually want to pull up the
36 degrees
Matt.
Celsius, Mike. So you know.
I just saw that, man.
At 36 degrees Celsius. I'm not going to do it, man. I'm not going to. Thank you, Drew, for giving it. Because that's exactly how the weather's been down there and will continue to be while we're there. It's nuts.
That's funny.
But, I'm not going to go there because then Johnny and Charlie are going to complain. Anyway, our good friends over at Hype, they'll be manning this booth here. Right next to one of the. So I guess we're having this year some aircraft set up, right? We're going to be in a hangar, the Heritage hangar. We're going to have some aircraft set up. If I'm not mistaken, actually, I won't say that one because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Never mind. But yeah, Hype will be here. H30 is their booth. So definitely swing on by, see Steve and the team. We'll definitely swing by there as well. And again, a whole host of other vendors and activities are planned for the weekend. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
36 degrees Celsius is why I ain't going. Not that bad. Yeah,
Johnny keeps saying it's not that bad,
It's
man.
not that bad.
Different kind of
It's
heat.
not
What's
too
the heat?
bad.
It's going to
Yeah,
feel like
it's
110.
Oh, Lord. It's 24. The dew point's 24, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my Lord.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I got it.
It's a dry heat, man. It's a dry heat.
It's not dry heat in Houston in the summer. Okay, bro. Who you trying
Like
to
here in
fool?
Georgia, man, it's not instant sweat.
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
Steve knows he's down in Tampa.
Steve knows
Yeah.
100% about humidity.
Yeah, this is a winter vacation for me going to.
That's it. We go to Texas.
Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot going on, guys. I mean, I'm like Mike. I didn't really think it was. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna be that big. It'll be,
Nah,
but no, it's
hectic.
gonna be. Yeah, this is gonna be definitely something to see. There's gonna be some product announcements from just. Oh my Lord! You got Thrustmaster, Fast Cow Productions, TFDI, Navigraph, Microsoft Flights. Oh my Lord! Yeah, it's just.
I
It's gonna be
wonder
like
what Navigraph is announcing.
Man, and they're always dropping bombshells. Have y'all noticed that? It hasn't been like, we released a patch 1.0. No, it's been like
their product development is off the chain.
Charts. Yes.
Yeah, they're
Like
incredible.
I almost wish the FAA would allow me to use them instead of paying.
Oh yeah,
Jeppesen,
without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
We'll talk about spot on, man. It's incredible, and then all the integrations to damn near everything you fly, and then them taking over SimBrief. It's just been, an amazing experience working, with the Navigraph product and now SimBrief product, and I can't even fathom what they're going to come up with next.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What do you think Microsoft's gonna say? I mean, since they already kind of like, completely...
do they have a product announcement plan?
Yeah, like 5
they do.
p.m.
Yeah, they do. They do. They already told us this, so I don't know. Maybe that was a preamble, and then they're gonna expand more on it. Probably, I don't know.
Aliens. It's gonna be all aliens. It's gonna be in Flight Sim 2024. Yeah,
I can't imagine what else.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
I can't imagine what they're gonna come up with, but nevertheless, it's gonna
They
be cool.
may holler the release date. I don't know.
Yeah. Be nice.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah.
It's
I'd
good
almost venture to say if they did that, it'll be the end of this year. I don't know.
Could be.
For
It's
sure.
good to see some, folks that sort of playing the real world aviation space as well.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I think what Glime didn't say. Wasn't Glime?
Glime's
gonna
Glime
be there.
somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine will be there. Yep.
Oh man, shout out to Glime guys. Man, I need y'all.
Y'all got me your ticket.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
those books, man, were just that
Spot
was
on.
it, bro. They're spot on.
Yeah.
Holy
Let's see,
smokes!
who else is gonna be there?
They had
I
a program at one point you could use an X-Plane 12.
Glime?
X-Plane 11. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like
That
you
makes
could,
sense.
they would like, go through basic flight stuff, like your private pilot stuff. It was pretty cool.
Flight Chops has his own booth. That's huge too. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, I can't wait. And then it's just a 3-hour drive. Oh man, I don't have to
Lucky
get on a
you.
plane.
We're gonna be battling with American to make sure they're on time.
Flight Sim 20. I mean, FSExpo 2024, Dallas, Texas.
No, man, we gotta come back. They gotta come back to the West Coast.
They coming east, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see them going east.
Yeah.
Atlanta,
San Diego,
Florida.
Miami.
It'll probably
I could
be
go to
Florida.
Miami.
It'll probably be Florida the next one again.
Yeah.
Tampa.
They
Miami.
did. They did Orlando, or they had Orlando planned once, right?
I thought they.
so.
No, that's a good
I
point.
don't
I
know.
think they did Orlando, or was that the one
did
planned in 20?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll swing through Florida for sure. Definitely do that. Yeah, it's been. Yeah, I'm not going to Florida. Now they're talking California. I don't know. I was kidding, Mike.
We know.
No, I was kidding.
I'll come
But,
if you take me up in that Cirrus.
I got you, man. Say no more.
Finally, take me to get some lunch.
Oh, man.
The only thing you gotta be starving, bro, because we don't eat till
What, 9
according
o'clock?
to you
9
guys.
o'clock Eastern?
Brother
9
Charlie
p.m.
gonna be in a bind out there.
A bind, bro.
Right. It's supposed to be like what? 4? It's be like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll be like getting
Oh,
up. Like,
man. Golly. Oh,
You guys,
man. But no, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. And then Mike, oh my gosh, man. Then we got Sim Venture as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me definitely talk about that one. I'll throw it in the chat here. West Coast time, exactly, Drew.
But,
36 days.
so-
That's exactly.
So Pilot Edge is running their 4th annual Sim Venture event, and for those of you that are not familiar, it replicates the famous Air Venture event, right? Where they all fly into Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I think it's Whitman Regional Airport. They do it yearly in July. I think close to 10,000 aircrafts come into this one little local regional airport. That they sort of shut down the airspace for and, issue special departure and arrival procedures. And it is just a hectic, how can I put this? It's
Organized
hectic,
chaos.
but there you go. I know we had you around for a reason. It is organized chaos, man, and it's incredible, right? And they bring ATC folks from really around the country to participate in this event and work the radios. And again, the procedures are very unique. It requires a lot of practice upfront, prep and studying. And Pilot Edge, for the 4th year in a row, like I mentioned, replicates this event on their network. So if you're not a member of Pilot Edge, you can sign up for a free trial to be able to participate in this event as well. They generally do it, I think, the week before the actual Oshkosh event. So I think this year it's going to be July 13th through the 16th. So that's like Thursday to Sunday. You can get on the network. You need to have X-Plane 11, X-Plane 12, or Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Like I said, a trial membership or an actual membership to Pilot Edge. And then obviously, right, your typical internet connection. You can fly pretty much any aircraft you want. Like I said, it replicates the actual event. So if you're going to be flying, let's say a jet, you're going to be put on sort of one specific type of arrival. If you're flying a prop, you're going to be put on a different type of arrival. So you got to make sure you understand what you're going to be flying and prepare yourself accordingly as it relates to the procedures.
Can I fly the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, man, go ahead. I think I have you holding for days. Anyway, yeah, it's an awesome way to, for those that actually go and attend the event and fly the event in the real world, to actually practice before they get there. So lots of information is out there around it on the Pilot Edge website. I think we just threw that in the chat. We'll have the link to our website. We'll continue to talk about it as well and provide some more details as those come out.
Are you streaming?
I did last year. That was the first time. It was nuts. It was fun, but it was nuts. Yeah, I did do that last year. I'm trying.
I thought it was awesome, man. You did a hell of a job.
Yeah, that was
good
for
sure.
I appreciate that. 13th through the 16th. I don't know if I might be here. I might do it. Yeah, we'll bring the Cirrus up.
Okay, I was about to say, if you do, which sim?
It'll probably be X-Plane, just because they've got the better Torque Sim, right? Torque Sim Cirrus platform is incredible in X-Plane. That's the other thing. I'm waiting for someone to do a Cirrus in 2020.
I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it's coming.
I hope so, man.
I mean, you got all these other high fidelity GPD. Heck, you got ATA. It's about to drop that Comanche here right around the corner.
Yeah, we've got a ton of high fidelity GAs, and everyone's ignoring the SR platform.
Yeah, strange.
Hopefully, it's coming soon. Flight effects. Yeah, so that's my little spiel about SimVenture. Definitely go check it out. And yeah, I think we will fly. Are you guys going to help me fly it?
Huh?
Question to Johnny and Charlie.
I can't. My internet sucks, so I can't. Go Elon.
I gotta work that day.
I gotta work.
I gotta work. Yeah.
Here comes
that's one person you don't want to hear up there mumbling. That's me. Maybe you want me to land on what
that? Spit my water out.
Like, man, I'm in a bind up here.
What number runway?
Oh my god!
Hold up traffic for miles, bro.
Got a dang cub behind me pushing me in this SR. Come on now.
High wing black and white Cessna. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Rock your wings.
We're gonna need you to call the number.
Oh my gosh. No, it is nuts though. Even if you just go and listen to some of the air traffic control or just watch some of the videos on it, it is like it's the total opposite of
them, when they do Sun and Fun. Because a lot of people video those.
Right,
yeah. Even Sun and Fun, it gets hectic.
Go around the lake, go up the road. It's like, golly, I couldn't do this.
Steve, have you ever been to Sun and Fun? I know it's not too far from you.
Yeah, I went. I've gone a couple times. I went this year. It was awesome.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Yeah, Johnny. If you remember, I sent you that F-35 demonstration, dude.
Like, man. They had some demos, bro.
Ooh, yeah.
They had some demos. My goodness. Yeah. They had man, I'm trying to think. Did they have any flight sim related exhibitions? I mean, displays or booths out there?
Yeah, there were a few. I'm losing names right now, but I know there were a couple hardware companies out there. I didn't see any developers. There were a couple of companies that do like the sim cockpits, like your jet line simulations and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no developers. I think maybe it'll start in the upcoming years, maybe developers to start coming. Like it was like the expo for me. I'm going to come and scope it out to see where we kind of fit in. But there's so much going on. I think Simmers would probably kind of be in the
get out here, guys.
Yeah, it's like go see a F-35 live bombing demonstration, or
come look at this new throttle quadrant.
They'll say it exactly like that.
Exactly.
Just like no enthusiasm whatsoever.
Old guy standing out front of the tent with a cigar.
Not the cigar, bro.
The cigar, man. Oh, Stogie.
Oh my god! I lost my train of thought.
No, I think like as you continue to see like the sim world and the real aviation world, merge and collide, you're gonna start to see a lot more of each other in the typical air shows and conferences and expos. You're gonna see a lot of crossover, I'd imagine, in the coming years, which is excellent for the community. Seagar, which is excellent for the community. So I think that's cool. I wanted to do something fun this year. I didn't get a chance, but probably next year.
Yeah, if you come down, hit me up, man. It's about an hour for me because it's Lakeland, so Tampa about an hour. Yeah. It was nice though. I like it.
Yeah, I would love to go down there and see some of that technology, man. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna butcher the name, but the guys who do the TBM, Dahir.
I don't know how to pronounce it. That's a good point.
Dahir, one of those. Man, that was please save us. But man, I've just been looking, just kind of looking at some of their products here lately. Just kind of not really segue, but something I thought was pretty cool. I was talking to the guys about. Have you guys heard of this safe return from Garmin?
Yeah, the Vision Jet has that.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's incredible.
My gosh. I watched I didn't even watch any of the product. I watched like an actual YouTube video and them demoing it, and it's just my lord.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's insane, you know. And so when you're, you know, especially with the Vision Jet, and you know, Mike and Charlie, we get into conversations like, you know, if I had that much money, like, would I buy a Vision Jet? Man, to be able to safely say, you know, heaven forbid something happens, and you know, you ate some fish or something, and you got sick and whatever. You know, don't ask me what movie I got that from, but
I was gonna say,
you know, yeah, exactly, like terrible flatulence. You know, your family could get home safe. You know, I know my wife. You know, anybody can hit a button right, and you know, follow some instructions. That's it. I don't know. I was just blown away by that. So I would love to, you know, see some of the exhibitions. I think that's something I'm gonna be putting on my list for next year as well, to check out something.
Caps to another level.
Yeah, man.
Or Oshkosh, either or.
Yeah, Oshkosh as well. To check out some of those check out some of those fantastic products, man. I'm telling you, Garmin for the win, man. Y'all can say what y'all want, man. Garmin's for
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Top of the line, man.
Top of the line, bro. Top of the line. Speaking of Garmin and not missing, Charlie, I know you have been using the heck some Garmin products here lately during your you know, with your IFR journey, man. How's that been going?
Charlie?
No, I'm sorry, Mike. It's funny. I was looking at Mike, and it was funny how Mike wasn't responding, because I'm like, wait a minute, did I like say something wrong? That was, you know,
I got a bug hanging. What?
Yeah, I'm like,
what? Tell me.
Yeah. No, Mike, how's that? Oh man, how's your journey been going, bro?
It's been going well, man. It's been a blast. We are going to start approaches and departures soon. We spent a lot of time in the sim. That's just been wrapped up. Let me step back, right? We did the transition training first in the Cirrus. So that's been cool. Great platform, great aircraft. Can't say enough about it. And then we transitioned and actually started the IFR training. We did all the sim work. And now we're going to jump in the airplane and start shooting approaches and departures and in routes and tech routes. It's a different world. Like, and I think I told Johnny and Charlie this yesterday. I don't think we realize, especially for those that are like avid simmers, hardcore simmers, we don't realize from an instrument standpoint, not so much for the private level, but from an instrument standpoint, you do a lot of that work already in the sim. That muscle memory, especially if you take it to the next level and you fly on VATSIM or Pilot Edge, a lot of that stuff is already ingrained in the everyday simming scenarios that you do. And a lot of it you're able to transition towards, right, building those skills for your IFR. So I think, you know, that has certainly saved a lot of time in this process as well, or helped me save a lot of time in this process as well. But it's been fun. It's been fun. Got some actual a couple of times as well. That was definitely unique, definitely a different experience. But I
didn't know that. I missed that.
Yeah,
So had some
a couple of weeks ago when I was finishing the transition, like the last checkout process for the transition, which by the way, that thing was longer than my private check ride. It was like 3 hours of ground and then like almost 3 hours of flying. It was intense. And a lot of people don't realize, like, the Cirrus is not just a platform you just go and do a 1 day checkout in. Like, it's in depth. There's a lot going on. But yeah, at the end of that, we were coming back into the airport, and we actually shot some approaches in actual. So that was cool. It was cool. A lot of fun.
So you bring up a point. If it's that much in depth to get the transition, should people that know that's what they want to be in, should they just not start there?
No, they absolutely recommend that. Right?
Really? So they recommend you, if you're going to start a private, start in the Cirrus.
If ultimately you are confident you're going to end up in a Cirrus down the line in your aviation journey, whether you're renting or buying, you should absolutely. You're going to spend the money anyway, whether you're done with your private and then you got to go through all the transition training on the courses, or right, you do it up front throughout your private. It may take you longer to get to solo or get to those initial parts of your private training, right? Because not only are you learning to fly, you're learning to fly a high performance aircraft with all of the avionics in there. So it'll take you probably a little bit longer, but you know, you're paying for it up front versus later down the line.
Down the line on the back end.
6.5 dozen. It's you might.
That makes sense. Of like some of the schools, you know, I've sent y'all around here with the cost of them being so high. That makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, it's
It's still high, but it
it's-
makes
it's
more
nuts.
sense.
Yeah, it's nuts. Is that the plane that went down in Virginia? It made a direct line to takeoff airport, to its takeoff airport. I don't know, Drew. You have a link to that, or
Yeah, I know there was one that some fighter jets was following out. I think they were they had aircraft that weren't responding. They
that was a jet over in
yeah.
DC area, DC Maryland area.
Yeah,
that was a
they
jet.
scrambled some airplanes to go chase it, and yeah, they saw somebody, a crew member, unconscious, and yeah, I don't know. Is that the one that Drew's referring to?
I don't know. I don't see. Yeah, because when I bring up any sort of Virginia airplane crash, it's referring to that. So that one, it wasn't a Cirrus.
Yeah, but I mean that transition training makes sense because I mean that's to your point, Mike. I mean that's a high performance airplane, and it's not a Cessna, it's not a Piper. It's aerodynamically slick airplane that as fast as technologically advanced. I'll talk one day. Technologically advanced as it is, it can you can get in a pinch if you're not prepared. So no, that's cool that they have that for sure. Definitely cool they have that.
Yeah, it's been a good time. Not to mention the air conditioning, man. You guys obviously per our conversations know I hate the heat. So it's comfortable, man. It's not just even about being comfortable. It also reduces your overall level of fatigue.
Yeah.
When you're flying long distance cross countries, and you be a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more alert. There's a lot of redundancy built into the aircraft and the avionics as well. But it's fun. It's cool.
Have you been using your iPad much?
No, that's the other thing, man. I only use the iPad really for like reference to frequencies, or for scratch pad to write down ATIS or instructions, and even for frequencies. Like you put the airport into the flight plan, you can scroll over to the airport, highlight it, bring up all the frequencies, and move the frequencies to your COM1 active, COM1 standby, COM1 active, COM2. Like I did that earlier today when I was flying, and it just makes everything so much more seamless.
Very intuitive.
Rarely use the iPad. We have charts in there directly embedded in the avionics. You've got you can switch between your IFR or VFR sectional in there. I rarely use the iPad in there now for navigating, I should say.
Now, can you export your flight plan?
You can do that as well. The Perspective Plus avionics package, yeah. So I'll put everything in ForeFlight and just get in the airplane and send it to the panel.
Too cool. Cool. Man, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I'm telling you, like, definitely keep us posted on that, fam. And yeah, man, best of luck to you. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing that ticket. Whoop whoop.
We're getting there.
But Steve, man, it's HPG, brother. What's next, man? I mean, you guys are doing tankers. You guys are, you got the whirly birds. I mean, what are we looking at now? The X-wing fighters. I'm aliens. I was kidding.
Hey, now we're gonna keep pushing ahead, man. We've got 3 projects in development right now at different stages of development. One I feel like is probably going to be out in the next 1 to 2 months. We kind of have a philosophy. It's not released till it's done, pretty much.
Right.
We've really shortened that window of time from showing something off and then having it ready to be released. I think we're in a place now. We want to stay to like maybe a month at max of, hey, here's the thing that we're working on. It's going to be out on this date. We don't really want to drag people on for too long.
Right.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's a place for it. We just don't have. I don't think we're at the aircraft yet. It's probably something like an airliner where it's going to be a development 2 to 3 years, where you do need to. You might feel like you need to keep people in progress. But for our stuff, we're going to work on it and then get it out. But I think in 1 or 2 months we'll have a helicopter out, and then we've got 2 more of those kind of in the background, as well as some experimental top secret stuff. We're always kind of tossing around, like like, hey, I mean, you think like the hot air balloon, the super tankers, like it's not your normal aircraft. It's like experimental things. We'll always be tinkering with those kind of ideas in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be
Nice.
Oh,
cool.
awesome.
Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Charlie, what you been doing, man? Where you been flying here lately?
Yeah.
Shoot, man, this first time this thing's been on in about 2 weeks.
Oh my lord! Anyway, all right, guys.
Nah, I did some
Charlie's been
flying
busy,
last
man.
Sunday.
Yeah.
What did I fly? I flew Division jet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right. Yeah. Right after I did that flight. Yeah.
What I flew something else. Oh, the ATR. I did a short ATR flight, but
Oh, cool.
man, that's all I've had time for.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man.
But she's
Yeah,
gonna get some
ATR
work
solid.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
I ain't doing
Yeah.
squat tomorrow.
I don't think I'm doing a whole lot either, man. Then we gotta, get ready for Expo. Let's get
Yeah.
man, it's crazy.
so,
6 days. Jeez.
Yeah, man.
When's everybody getting in for Expo?
I'm getting in Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, we're probably driving in Friday morning.
I'll get in.
I'm weird like that though. I always be somewhere the day before. Like
No, if I had
I'm
realized earlier on, Charlie, I would have left Thursday as well. Because
weird. Well, you had something come up for work though, don't you? Like a meeting or something?
Yeah. Oh, something's always coming up for work. You guys know that. But we're trying to get in by not trying to. That's what we're scheduled to with our flights. I think we're there by like 4:00 Friday. So unfortunately, we'll miss most of the Friday's events, but we'll be there.
American, don't fail us now.
American, don't fail us now. We haven't had much. We in our little group chats, we talk about all the Johnny and I specifically fly a lot for work and whatnot, and it's just been a debacle. That's right. Steve flies a lot too. Are you on American lately, or
I haven't been on American in a while. I've been on Delta lately.
But they're generally
for the
on time
win,
and
bro.
whatnot, right?
Gosh, yeah.
Hometown.
They're on time.
bro.
It's crazy,
Delta
dude.
never fails, man.
Yeah,
I remember,
man.
American has been atrocious the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Insane. So
What shortages? Getting a lot of cancellations or
cancellations, delays,
And delays.
Heck, it sounds like
maintenance.
aircraft scheduling
Swaps.
issues to me.
It's I don't know. Like, so we were on vacation 2 months ago, and they were sending an aircraft from by you, Steve, to come pick us up on the other side of the country in Mexico. And it had weather, right, all in between, the different states and regions and whatnot. So they weren't able to get to us. We were like 8 hours delayed, stuck in the airport. It's like, why wouldn't you send an aircraft from the west? Like, who?
from Texas?
That's scheduled.
Who's dispatching?
There's no redundancy built in for scenarios where it's like a weather or aircraft issue. It's like it made no sense. No sense. It's stuff like that. There's certain things that are not in their control, but it's like, all right, you got to be prepared to, position yourself to address certain things that pop up that are out of your control. And I mean, like, we're approaching the summertime. We've got weather popping up all over the country. You trying to bring an aircraft from a flight from Tampa all the way to Cabo, Mexico made no sense. Like that was our inbound flight, like
through Dallas.
Through Dallas. You knew that wasn't going to work. No way that flight was done. That flight was doomed to be delayed.
Doomed to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's stuff like that, but let me not force somebody else on American is in the chat.
Cease and desist.
Suing CTP for defamation.
Mike, I'm gonna need your rewards numbers. What they're saying. They're gonna pull them points.
They're gonna take all my points, bro.
But it's been bad, man.
Well, Friday's the day to miss if you got to miss a
exactly.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, because that's what I'm most excited about, getting to the museum, man.
That's gonna be fun.
It's
gonna be fun. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so ladies and gents, shout out a little per free man Mike over there as he treks his way from the multiverse.
That's it.
From the multiverse.
From over there in the West Coast, and hopefully we'll see a lot of you guys there. You catch us in the CTP shirts as my main man Charlie over here has going on there, and don't be a stranger. Make sure you say hi, and definitely looking forward to it. But aside from that, gents, I mean, you guys got anything else for the people? I mean, what else anything going on in the background? any recommendations for other airlines for Mike, or what you got?
Southwest.
A little too late for
For the win, bro.
Don't even go.
I don't know, man.
man.
I've been hearing good stuff about this the Spirit company. I think you should try them out.
Ah,
Yeah. Your Spirit, yeah.
All
yeah,
right, man.
for the
So I
win.
think we're gonna log this off right here. No, we've said this before on our show. Spirit is an amazing carrier. It is unfortunately
Great
the
equipment.
passengers that give Spirit a bad name. That's just straight up.
Absolutely.
Straight
Well,
up.
Southwest
They
at some
probably have
points,
the
too.
most efficient, cleanest, up-to-date fleet out of the major airlines in the United States, and a lot of people just give it a bad rep. Unfortunately, it's got nothing to do with their pilots, their equipment,
Nothing,
their
bro.
operations, nothing. It's just unfortunately the passengers that choose to fly with that airline. It's just nothing but shenanigans time after
The
time.
Instagram videos, man. Just
Oh my
Spirit,
God.
bro. The Instagram video. Oh my gosh, man. It's like on the daily, But yeah, their equipment and Southwest, man. But I'll tell you, if I know I need to get somewhere, because a lot of times I'll get like a few hours notice before I have to be somewhere like in another state. If I know I have to make that happen, 9 times out of 10, I'll probably book on Southwest.
Yeah.
They're on time performance, man. I mean, aside from that, computer hiccup, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, cool. But I mean, they've just been hitting on all cylinders. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. Like sometimes I feel bad for them 7.3s, man, because the cycles that they hit, I'm talking about, dude,
girls get
they're
work.
not even like the blades aren't even like they're not even done spinning from the last trip, man. And they're pushing,
Gone.
getting ready to stick gone, bro.
They
Gone.
are efficient, man.
Yeah,
I've yet to see anybody turn a flight like these guys. It's just
I'm telling you, man, they turn it like a freaking Saab. I don't know anyone else that can turn a Dash 800 like a freaking Saab 340. Like, I mean, you're in and you're out, and Delta as well. I mean, I've had, especially
Delta,
going out there.
Delta turns pretty quick, really.
Yeah, I had some pretty good experiences with Delta, and as far as like their equipment, the comfort, I haven't had an issue. But like when I'm on American, and it sucks because I'm like American land, right? Sometimes I don't have it. Lately, I haven't. I'll learn to talk. Today's episode, CTB journalists on the talk, but I haven't had an issue to where, as far as with American here lately, where it's been too bad, but they're always like 30 minutes to an hour late, like no matter what I've gone.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been bad.
always.
But yeah, like I said, man, enough with American before we get cease and desist. Laura's involved. Aside from that, gents, you got anything else for the people?
No, man. You guys stay safe. Enjoy. We'll see. Hopefully, many of you at FSExpo. Steve, appreciate you coming on as always. Our resident guest.
Absolutely.
I think you're probably our most returning.
3 times.
Yes, man.
Three.
Wow,
no,
okay.
bro. We need some CTP sound effects, man, for like our third time guest.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
We gotta have to send.
Thank you.
We gotta send Steve a check soon, man.
I'll tell you,
Nice.
man. Yeah, I'm about to get your tax info here in the background. Oh my gosh. Well, cool, man, guys, and those of you who had the opportunity to jump in and participate with us, thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the interaction. Definitely appreciate it. Makes the show just absolutely amazing when we're able to get real-time feedback from our friends out there. And again, we'll see those of you who are able to attend the expo. Definitely feel free to reach out, shake a hand or whatnot. But aside from that, you guys stay cool out there and take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you.